All right, welcome to tonight's call. It is Memorial Weekend. So tonight we're talking about using free groups. And Rachel has really grown her entire business so far using free groups and building connections. And it's just been really awesome so far for her. So she's going to kind of go over her process of adding people to her free groups, what she does in her free groups, and how she's transitioned them to challengers. Because, like I said, she's hasn't been a coach for all that long and is totally killing it with free groups. So Rachel, I'll just hand it over to you.
Hi. Yes. So like we said, or like Megan said, it's Memorial Day weekend. So I realize a lot of people probably won't be on this call, but if you watch this recording later on and you have questions, just write them like in the post or in the comments of this post of this video, or send me a message. I'd be happy to help you however I can. But my name is Rachel Kaler. I've been a coach since September of 2017, I think, somewhere around there. And I have built my business almost exclusively on starting prospects in free groups. So to start off with, what is a free group? This is my definition. A free group is any group like online through Facebook that is for like health and accountability, and it's for people who are not paid customers or coaches. It's for people who you want to talk to, but they are not a Beachbody On Demand member. They are not a Shakeology member. They might not even know what those things mean, but that is where a free group starts. This call is probably going to be super short and sweet. So if you have questions, I'll try to pay attention to the chat of this as well. But if you think of something as we go, write that down as well. So what are the benefits of free groups? The reason why I start with free groups is that it just jives with my personality really well. The thing I've learned is I try to listen to trainings all the time from so many different coaches who are successful, and I just take little snippets of them and put it to what works for me. So my personality is not one that can comfortably go to a stranger or go to somebody and maybe that I know really well and say like, hey, do you want to buy this thing? Do you want to sign up for this thing? Do you want to put your money in my account? It's not necessarily that way, but that is how it might feel to me sometimes. So to get over that fear of feeling that way, I go through free groups, and they are a great way to build a relationship with people that maybe I have been disconnected from for like 10 years or longer. It is a great way to reconnect with people who I don't know that well, maybe some former coworkers, maybe complete strangers, maybe friends of friends of friends. It's an awesome way to just let people get to know me and get a feel of who I am and kind of get like a sample of what I'm offering to them without having to sign up for anything. It's a really non-threatening environment. Like I said, it jives with my personality. It just feels very natural for me. And when I was first starting out, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. And I tried a lot of different things. When I first started out with free groups, I would do 1 week free groups once a month. I started off just with the timing of everything. I started off around the holidays. So I would do like the Thanksgiving challenge, the New Year, New Me challenge. And what I would do is I would record like 15-minute workouts of me and offer them to the free group. And they were nice. They got some good relationships with people, but it took a lot of my energy. So I don't do that anymore. I've learned as I go, and I'm constantly evolving. And that is the thing that's really cool, is that it doesn't have to stay the exact same. And I kind of follow the same game plan now, but it's never exactly the same way. A lot of people have used free groups as an opportunity to just kind of like see what I'm up to and see what I'm all about, and then decide if it's something they want to work with. Okay, I have notes here, so I remember what to say here. So it's an opportunity to introduce the opportunity of Beachbody On Demand, of Shakeology, of all these things. So I have a couple of different types of free groups that I run every month. I have a marketing plan that I will share with you. I have a way to invite people to these groups and to follow up with them and transition them into a paid customer, because for being honest, it is about making an income, because we all have to make an income to pay for life expenses. So the types of free groups that I run 3 a month. I run a 1-week free group. And by that, I mean like Monday through Friday of a group of maybe I'm doing like sneak peeks of me doing moves from Beachbody On Demand workouts. I might be sharing a clean eating group, like clean eating foods. And I always try to tie in like Beachbody On Demand blog or the nutrition plans that come along with our programs with the clean eating. Sometimes it might be, what else have we done? We did like a spring refresh group as well. So the 1-week group that I do every month can be on pretty much anything that you want. I do put a lot of attention into that 1-week group. I try to engage with people every single day. It takes a little bit more effort than some of the other groups because I'm creating a lot of the content. But it does work and it has paid off very well. The other group that I do is kind of like a month-long or a 3-week to 4-week-long group. And that is kind of considered like a healthy living accountability group or like a fitness community group. It's an opportunity for people to check in daily if they want to, maybe get some recipe ideas, maybe get some workout ideas, but they don't have like a structured plan to follow. And then the next group that I follow is my paid, or that I provide is my paid group. And that is for people who are brand new Beachbody On Demand members, brand new Shakeology members, or they might be a monthly challengers, which means that they are they have a Beachbody On Demand membership, they might be a coach, and they might be on monthly Shakeology or monthly performance line or something like that. So the way that I use those 3 steps is kind of like a funnel. So I start off with the 1-week concentrated group of like a workout or clean eating or something like that, because that gives them a great opportunity to understand where I'm coming from, what I can offer to them to help them solve whatever problem they have. And then I transition them into the monthly free group, and then I transition them into the paid group. And that, like I said, it works really well with my personality. So it feels really, really natural for me, which I think they can feel that it feels natural. And I don't feel salesy or anything like that. And they don't feel like I'm being salesy to them either. So with the 1-week free group, the way I usually set it up is Monday through Friday. I try to have all of the posts done ahead of time, because when you are creating your groups, you can do scheduled posts. What I have found through experience is if I don't do scheduled posts ahead of time, it's a huge stressor, because I'm trying to like throw a workout together last minute, or I'm trying to like figure out what the perfect thing is to say to them or something like that. And it's just, it's stressful, and I probably don't do as good of a job. So before the group even starts, I have all of my posts scheduled to post probably around 4:00 a.m. of every day in that group. In that post, it's usually like a morning motivational thing. It might be like the workout of the day. I have done core challenges. I've done upper body challenges, lower body challenges. Starting in June is a full body challenge. So I'm kind of like building up to it. That's a nice process that we have. So I have the morning post, and then what I also try to do is like a midday to mid-evening post in that group, and it's like a recipe of the day, a check-in, a did you know, something to add free value to their life. Like, did you know, I've even done fun things like, did you know, here are 15 different ways you can do your hair while you're working out. And that one surprisingly was a huge hit. I think it was probably refreshing for people to see something other than exercise and workouts. So I'll throw little things like that in. And that information that I'm grabbing is from the Beachbody On Demand blog or Pinterest through the Beachbody On Demand page on Pinterest. So it's always a way for me to connect them to the Beachbody world without saying like, here's Beachbody, here we are, here's our brand, here's our name. It's like, here's this really valuable free content that I'm presenting to you with my personal twist in a way that can be beneficial for you. And so by posting in that page twice a day, then that gets really great engagement from them. What I will also try to do midweek in that group is do a poll. And if you're not sure what a poll is, it's a feature in a group that you can do, and it can say like a question at the top, and you have all these options for answers below of whatever the heck you want. Like something I'll do a lot is, okay, midweek check-in, how are you doing? Scale of 1 through 10, mark below which apply to you. And I'll say like, I've been drinking my water every day. I've been doing my exercise every day. I feel stronger today than I did on Monday. I feel more energized today than I did on Monday. I haven't done anything. Please reach out and help me. So I'll do things like that, and I'll ask people to mark which one applies to them. And I found that polls, using the poll feature in groups is super beneficial, because there are a lot of people who won't check into the group. They won't do like a sweaty selfie or something like that. They will always check into that group. It's a very what's the word? How do I say it? It's like a non-threatening way to be engaged in the group. And by using that poll, I can see exactly who's answering what, and that helps me know how to reach out to them. So if Megan was in my group and she said like, not that she would, but if she said like, I have not been doing my exercises at all, please reach out to me and help me, I would know, okay, Megan wants me to reach out and help her. That's one way that I get huge engagement from them midweek in that group. And then another thing I try to do with every single challenger is I reach out to them before the group starts, and I'll say, you know, what are your goals? What are you hoping to accomplish? I probably know these things already from talking to them and inviting them into the group. But some of my groups, I have people in there that I don't know. And like maybe they found me through my Facebook like page, or a friend of a friend of a friend or something like that. So I'll reach out, introduce myself, talk about what the group is, thank them for joining the group, and ask them what are their goals, what's something specific they're trying to accomplish this week, and how can I add, or how can I help them? And then let's say it's someone who says, let's say it's a core group challenge. And they have really bad low back pain, and they tell me they want to find some exercises that can help their low back feel better, or strengthen their low back. Well, then I can say to them, okay, that's awesome. Yes, I will definitely throw in some moves this week just for you that can help you with your low back pain. And what that does is it gives them that personal touch to the group, and they feel, because I really am throwing it in there for them, they feel that Rachel is putting something in the group for them to help them out. So I'm adding value to their life without them having to do anything at all. And it actually has helped with engagement a lot, because they're looking for that specific move throughout the week, versus if they knew there was nothing for them to personally look for, then they might not check in throughout the week. So I check in with everybody before the group even starts to get that little personalized, like, what can I throw in there for you? Let's say it's a recipe group. What are some of your challenges? What are some weaknesses that go on in your household? What are some things you're trying to change? And if it's someone who's like, oh my gosh, I do fine, but I have ice cream every single night. I have a ton of desserts. I can't get rid of the sweet tooth. Then I'll say something like, okay, well, I'm gonna throw in some healthy dessert options for you this week. We're gonna really help you get some good ideas. And that's another example of throwing that in there too. I will try to check in with them midweek, either through the poll that I use or through a personal message. And I'll say like, hey, Megan, how's it going? We're halfway through the group already. Can you believe it? How is everything? How are your workouts going? Is there anything you're struggling with? What's one of your wins? And I'll try to connect with them throughout the week. And then at the end, I don't know why I'm out of breath right now, but I am. And then at the end of the week, I will also do two things. I'll check in with them, and it's after a post, and the post will say like, congratulations, thank you so much for completing your core challenge or your upper body challenge. Here are the next steps. Here's how you can take your fitness further. You have done this work already. Here's how you can continue your work and continue with your progress. And I'll introduce the idea of my monthly free group and my paid group. And with my paid group, so this is all in a post. Sorry, I can't share a screen right now, but it's all in a post, and it'll say, congratulations, here's the next step. Right here is a link to my monthly free group of healthy living and accountability. Down here is a link to a Google form to get more information from them, to sign up essentially for a paid group. So they can either skip the free monthly group and go right to the paid group, or if they're not quite ready, then they can transition into the monthly group and get to know me a little bit better, and know that the following month there will be another week-long group that is coming up. That's one way that I transition them. So the link is already in there. They can add themselves to the group. excuse me, a lot of people will do that. Another way that I transition them out is out of that group is there will be a poll feature, and it'll say, I feel, things like, how do you want to continue your journey after this? And it'll say, I feel great. I would love to have some more information on how I can get a great program to help me reach my results. They might click that option. It might say something like, I feel awesome. I had great results, and I'm really interested in helping other people do this too. Or I have some friends that I want to do this thing too. So they'll click that. That might be a coaching prospect. I have all these different options. So I do a post, I do a poll, and then I will do a private message to them as well and say, how did the group go? How do you want to continue? So I do a message to them before, in the middle, at the end. I do the poll feature in the middle of the week and at the end. And I do a post twice a day, Monday through Friday, of the 1 week group. So like I said, it does take some more effort, but think of all the value that I have just given them for free. And think of all of the knowledge they just gained from me and all the knowledge that I just learned about them from asking all of those questions that I can use to help them see how this is a great solution for whatever they're looking for. They wouldn't be in that group in the first place if they weren't looking for something. So it's a great way to say something like, you had amazing results in this group. You were so engaged. Loved seeing you show up every day. Can you imagine what your results would be like if you were in a continuous group just like this with a great program to follow? This is kind of how I start that conversation. When inviting people to this 1 week free group, I can go all over the board with this, but it is a great and non-threatening way to invite pretty much anybody to this group. So let's say it is like one of my coaches, Carly, is training for an Ironman. And so she's a beast. She's just an amazing athlete. So that might be a really threatening person to invite to an opportunity like this, because we might see someone like that as, oh, they got everything together, they don't need anything. But what I could say to her instead is, oh my gosh, Carly, you are a killer. You are doing such a great job. I love following your training journey. I don't know if this is anything you'd ever be interested in or not, but I have this amazing free community, or I have this amazing core group that is coming up in June, and it's 5 days of core exercises, or it's a month long of just healthy living and, recipes and stuff like that. Is that something you would be interested in trying out? It's totally free. I would love to have you in that group. What do you think? And I always end it with a question. And that's just, it's not asking her to buy anything. It's just asking her to join an opportunity to learn about this opportunity a little bit more. And honestly, I don't know what the exact percentage is, but let's say it's like 90% of people will say, yes, that sounds awesome. I would love to learn more about that. So that's getting them off of like the public page and into that personal page to learn a little bit more. So that's the 1 week free group that I start people in. What I have also done is I've kept that same group every month, like continuously, instead of creating a brand new group each time. And what I'll do is I'll change the title of the group once the new group is coming up, and I'll change the cover photo of the group. And I might delete some of the old information out, but I do leave most of it in, because if I have new people come in, I want them to see that I have a lot of opportunity to offer them, instead of like just 5 days of upper body exercises. They might see all the stuff from the previous groups and say like, gosh, this girl can help me with my lower body, with my nutrition, with this and with that. And so if they are scrolling, which is what I do when I go into new groups, I kind of check it out. They can see that kind of stuff. So I think that's kind of how I cover the 1 week group right there. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. I have to say it has been hugely, hugely helpful in getting people from like high school, from middle school, old coworkers, and complete strangers to get to know me really well and ask me questions. And it has just worked very well. So basically consider that as like step one. Then I transition them after all those questions and the poll into step 2, which is the monthly free group, if they don't want to go straight into a paid challenger group. In that monthly free group, I usually do a morning post of like motivational something like, you got it, you can do it, some picture, some awesome thing to push them forward. And I will encourage them to do like a sweaty selfie of the day after they have done their workout. At the beginning of every month in this group, I will do a poll feature. And in that poll feature, I'll ask the questions that I need to know in order to move forward with them. So the questions will say something like, I have a fitness program that I love and enjoy and gets me the results I want, but I lack in something else like motivation or accountability. I might say a question like, I do not have a fitness program that I follow. Please share with me how I can get a free program to follow for the duration of this group. I might have a thing in there that says, I love what I do. I love my program. I love my nutrition, and I would love to learn how I can help other people be healthy too. And then the other questions would be, I do great in fitness. I have an awesome program, and I what's the word? Consistently show up for my program, but my nutrition is slacking. So I have kind of a variety of those types of questions. They click on those, and that's where I can get people set up right away with a couple of options. Let's say it's someone who says, I have a great fitness program to follow, but I lack in accountability. Well, then I can really connect with that person and get them to check in every single day and show them that I am there for them. And then I'm going to help them work through that stuff. If it's somebody who doesn't have a fitness program to follow, then what I might suggest that they do is sign up as a free Beachbody On Demand member. So there's two ways that they can do that, I think. And if I'm wrong, please correct me, Megan. I think Jamie's on here too. But you can sign up as a free Beachbody On Demand member, and that would give you full access to the Clean Week program, which is a 1 week long program. It's a great program to start people off with because it's a big beginner program and it gives them kind of a taste of everything. So if you're having somebody who hasn't worked out in 20 years, this is a great program to start them off with because you don't want them to be so sore that they have an incredibly negative experience with exercise, right? So it's a great program to start them off with. They get kind of a sneak peek into what Beachbody On Demand looks like. And once you get them in, they usually love it, you know, because it's such a great product. They get access to the nutrition program. They get those visuals from Beachbody that show like Shakeology or all of those things. So they're getting kind of those messages in the back of their brain without me ever having to say any of that stuff to them. All I'm saying is, hey, here's a great program that you can follow for the duration of this program. You don't have to pay a dime. But they're getting all those subliminal messages. And not every time, but a lot of times it will spark questions from them to me, and they'll say like, can you tell me more about Shakeology? Can you tell me more about Beachbody On Demand? Do you really use this? What do you think of it? And that'll start some really natural conversations. Another way that they can be a free Beachbody On Demand member, I believe, is they can sign up without a credit card or anything like that, and they can get access for 2 weeks to all of the programs.
And they do have to enter their card information in, because then they have to cancel after the 2 weeks, otherwise it will charge them.
Okay, and thank you. I think that turns it into a 3-month-long membership, right? If it doesn't get canceled. Okay, so there's two options. They can sign up as a free member without a card and they get access to that one program, which is Clean Week, or they sign up with their card and they can get access to all of the programs for 2 weeks. And if they don't cancel at the end of those 2 weeks, they become a Beachbody On Demand member. But by signing up as a free customer, they are automatically your customer, whether it's a volume producing customer immediately or not. They still are connected to you. They still become a member of the Beachbody network, so they get access to all those recipes and things like that, and they get that program that they can follow throughout the duration of the free monthly long group. That has been really successful for me, and it's been great because it's kind of like getting a sample. Like they get a sample of the product that they would purchase, and they get a sample of the group that they would be connected with. They're doing the Clean Week program or whatever program they're doing, and they get to be in that group and see what it would be like to check in daily and get a little bit of that value. Then, you know, we go through the month and I'll do maybe like a theme of the week or a challenge of the week, sometimes in the 1 week group and sometimes in the 3 week long to 4 week long group. I'll do incentive things. So I'll say, like last week in my group, I said, okay, so we're going to do a support group and we're going to really push ourselves into summer really well. So I said, what did I say? If you post every single day with your sweaty selfie, how your experience was. And if you engage on somebody else's post in a positive way and give them some love every single day, Monday through Friday, you'll be in a drawing for Beach Bars or Shakeology samples, or I think I was doing a gift card giveaway as well. And let me tell you, when I put incentive giveaways in there, the engagement skyrockets. And I love that I made part of the requirement that they had to encourage somebody else every single day, because there were so many posts in that group about how much they loved that positive reinforcement from others, how much they loved supporting other people, everything like that. So that works really, really well. I don't always do those, but sometimes I do. Sometimes I'll do, okay, we're going to do our workout of the week and we're going to do this core challenge of the week. So everyone's going to do an extra 1 minute long plank this week, and I might show them something like that. Another way I like to show them that they are getting value and their physical life is improving is I'll do like strength measurements. So at the beginning of the month, I might have them post like, how many push-ups can you do? How long can you hold a wall sit? How long can you hold a plank? And then I'll have them do that same test in the middle of the group and at the end. And so they can physically see that they have improved their upper body strength and are able to do like 10 more push-ups at the end of the month by being in this group. Like, that's amazing proof that what they are doing is helping them get results of what they're looking for. So that's kind of how I start off that group and transition.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, a couple questions actually. So in your 3-month long group, my first question is, are you giving people workouts to do, or are they doing their own kind of workouts, or how are they?
So I start off with the poll feature, and I learn right away. I start off with a poll feature and a message with everybody. And so I'll kind of know what they're doing. With the poll feature, I know if they have their own fitness program that they're following, like if they're a CrossFitter, for example. Doesn't mean they can't do Beachbody On Demand memberships or anything like that, but they get connected into the community, which is what sold me, honestly, the community of everybody. If they don't have a program to follow, or if they're not happy with the program that they currently are following, like if they are a biker or a swimmer or something like that, then I will suggest that they try out the free membership, or might even sign up for a Beachbody On Demand membership right away, something like that. Does that answer your question?
So you don't put your own videos in there?
Not in the monthly group.
Okay.
I might do like one move, like here's a fun core exercise that you can do, but I will never put like full workouts in there. Versus in my 1 week free group, I will do full workouts that they can see. Okay. Which is usually like, I'll give them like 5 or 6 exercises and tell them to do it like 2 or 3 times. So I won't like record myself doing a full Beachbody On Demand workout, because I don't want to give the whole thing away, but I'll give them an extended sneak peek of the workout. And then with either group, either the 1 week group where I'm giving them the full workout, or the month-long group where I'm giving them like the free membership or the move of the day that they can try out, it's always a natural conversation of, what did you think of that move? What did you think of that workout? And can you see how this could help you get the improved strength that you want? Can you see how this can help you lose that weight that you want? And most often people will say like, yeah, I actually I can see how that would help me out, because they've experienced it. So that's kind of how I transition.
Okay. So then your month group is pretty much like a support / accountability group for people, versus your 1 week one is like to help them kind of get started, and you're providing significantly more value to transition down, right?
Yep. It's kind of like a concentrated group. They get a lot of value, and then it's not like they're not getting value, but like some of the value is pulled away. So they get that feeling of like, well, I want a little bit more. Like I had a lot going on here. So that's kind of a good transition into getting them into a paid group, and I'll go into that next. So that's a nice transition into getting them into paid group, because they have that experience of getting all that value, the full workout and the nutrition guide. And then they go into a group where they get the accountability and the support, but they don't have a workout to follow unless they're continuing to do like clean week every single week. And then they usually are naturally ready to transition into the next group, which is getting the access into the full membership. So then at the end of the month-long group, I'll do the same thing that I do in my free group, and it'll be like a poll of how was your experience, how are things going, you know, stuff like that. How do you want to take this to the next step, and a private message and the post with the links to the next page. So through those things, I usually can naturally transition people into the next page, or if they're not, or into the next group. And if they're not ready, then they kind of just stay put in that monthly group. And I have had some customers stay in that same monthly group or in that same monthly group idea for like 5-6 months. And now they are paid customers, or now they are coaches. So they might not be transitioning when I want them to, but they are transitioning when they are ready. And they are transitioning with me because I've just stayed there and I've supported them and loved on them and given them all this free value for all these months. And now they're ready to take it to the next step. And when they're ready is awesome, because they're going to give it so much more effort than if I try to like push them into doing something that they're not quite ready for. And it's just a natural conversation because it feels natural to me and my personality. And then when I transition them into the paid group, it's a challenge group. So this is the way I let people into my group. It's either with a challenge pack, which is Beachbody On Demand and Shakeology, or Beachbody On Demand and the Performance line, or it might be Beachbody On Demand and like a thing of Energize or a thing of Recover or something like that, with the understanding that they only get to stay in that group for 1 month. And if they want to stay in that concentrated group where they get their amazing program, they get that motivation, accountability, the weekly check-ins from me, that they have to be on some sort of a product every month to stay in that group. Or what happens is they get put kind of like back into a group that is very much like that monthly group. They're always welcome to go into any of the groups that they want, except a paid group, unless they're a paid customer. Sometimes they're looking for just like a little nice something different to do, and that's where the 1 week free group comes in. It kind of like gives them a breath of fresh air, and then they're ready to go into the next month of the paid group session. I think I said that how I wanted to. Do you have any? Let me just check the chat. I don't think there's any questions, but
no, that was really awesome. I like how you laid that out and like how you transition one to the next. I know that, again, because it was a holiday, I know a lot of people aren't on, and I've gotten a couple messages from people asking, like, are you going to record this? And so a couple questions I want to ask, because I can just hear some people wondering this, is first off, like, who is it that you're inviting? How are you finding people to invite? And then once you do find these people, like, what does your conversation look like before you invite them, / what does your invite look like into your first group?
Okay, so the way that I find people is it took a while to kind of like train myself to do this, but I will see what they're posting, or not even what they're posting, but like what they're doing in their post. So if I see that they're like going hiking with their family or swimming or something like that, or if you take it a different direction, if I see them posting about how they want to lose weight, how miserable they feel, how sad they feel, how lonely they feel, I can take that conversation and say something along the lines of, hey, I don't know, I'm going to use Ashley, for example. Hey, Ashley, I saw your post the other day about going hiking with your family. You look amazing. I loved your outfit. Those Nike shorts look super comfortable. I love that kind of stuff. So I'll kind of like compliment them a little bit and say something personally to them that like I noticed what they were doing, instead of just being like, hey, do you want to join this group? It's, hey, I paid attention to what you're doing. Here's a compliment. And then here's a question. I saw that you do this. You seem like a super active person. You might not be interested in this or not, but I provide this monthly group. I provide this monthly week-long group of core challenges, or a monthly accountability group. I'd love to have you join the group if you're interested. We have a lot of fun. We check in with each other, and it's a lot of people just going through the same stuff every day. Would you be interested in something like that? Or if it's somebody who's feeling really sad, because we all feel sad, right? If you see someone who is saying that they feel really lonely or something like that, I might say, hey, Ashley, I saw your post the other day about going through a rough time right now. First off, I'm really sorry that you're going through that. But I want to let you know that I was going through a similar experience like that. And I started joining these online accountability groups and support groups, and it really helped me work through that time of my life. I loved it, and I feel amazing now. I feel so much happier. So now I run my own support groups, and if you're interested, I would love to have you in this group too. I would love to help you out, and it would be amazing to have you in this journey. Something along those lines. So really, to answer the question of how do I find these people, it's just kind of like training the eye to see what they're doing or what they're saying, and how can what I have help them get what they're looking for, or maybe not what they're looking for, but if they're a super active person. I see that you're really active. Would you be interested in joining this group of recipes and stuff like that? People are always looking for recipes and ideas. It's kind of just a natural invite. So I'll start like, would you be interested in this? Or if you're interested in, some more support or motivation or ideas, here's a link to a group that I do every month. I'd love for you to join. Just add yourself in, and we get started on Monday or whatever. So I'll either ask them a question or provide the link for them, depending on how the conversation is going, because I kind of judge it like case by case.
I love that. And so you're really just kind of paying attention to your social media and like what people are posting as you're scrolling. Is that a safe assumption? Okay. Remember CCQ, you guys. So whether you're just starting conversation to connect with somebody, or you're doing like what Rachel said, CCQ, comment, compliment, question, versus like trying to drag on a conversation. And then it's like, well, when do I insert this question or this invite? Like really just get to the point, because a lot of times people could just feel, okay, like, what are you trying to sell me? And especially if it's a free group, you want to get that out there right away, that this is free. That's awesome. I think someone asked a question. Okay. And then, yep, Shannon just asked that. And then, do you promote it at all, or is this all through private messages? Like, do you do any posts about it?
Yeah. So, one thing I want to touch on before I go into that, but don't let me forget, because I'm a little scatterbrained today. I heard this training once from Janelle Summers. So if you're looking for a top coach to follow, Janelle Summers is awesome to follow. And I don't remember what the training was about, but as far as having that natural conversation with people, you start with the CCQ, the comment, comment, compliment, question. And then she always said, like, in your conversation, like, talk about what you need to talk about, and then take a breath with something non-related. Like, you talk about what they're going through, and then take a breath with like, by the way, I saw that you're going on vacation soon. Where are you going? Something to like take the pressure off the conversation. That's been a trick that I've used a lot that has helped the conversation feel really natural as well. So it just helps it feel really good. As far as the promoting of it, yes, I do promote. I try my best to follow a monthly plan, and I think Anita, I know her like page is Anita Get Fit, but I can't
Anita Myron.
Yes. Yep. She has an excellent training on a monthly plan to follow, and her plan is what I base mine off of. So what I do is I have this giant calendar that I write on every single month, and I write out what groups I have going on, and I mark my arrows, and I write them out day by day by day which groups are happening. So let's say I have a free group starting, or I have whatever group, I have something starting on Monday. The previous Wednesday of the month at the latest is when I will start a call to action post. And it'll say like, gosh, what would it say? I'm starting a accountability group on improving core strength. I would make it sound much more fun than that on my page, but it would be something along those lines. So a call to action post on that Wednesday with the link of the group. I don't ever say like, comment below, drop a DM below, something like that, because Facebook catches those little keywords and they'll hide my post if I do things like that, I believe, if I understand that correctly. But I will say like, add yourself by using the link in this page or in this post, or let's talk and let's get you into this group. So I'll do a call to action with the link of the group in that post, or the invite to talk with me. And then I will usually like sprinkle stuff in about it Thursday and Friday. And then like Saturday and Sunday is when I'll do a lot of like personal invites, especially Sunday. Sunday afternoon to evening is a great time to catch people, except for like holiday weekends. But on normal weekends, Sunday evening, afternoon, whatever, is a great time to catch people because they're home, they're relaxed, they're not out and about. And it's usually when they're starting to dread Monday or they feel really bad from life choices over the weekends, like maybe they ate too much food or they just don't feel really good, and so they're in that mindset of like, oh, I gotta get better, I gotta do something better. It's a great time to talk to them. So that's kind of how I do that. And then before that Wednesday, I will kind of just be like sprinkling stuff in keywords in my post. So like at the beginning of the month, I might post some videos of like me and my daughter doing some planks, or my daughter climbing all over me doing planks. Or I might post like just little things about whatever I'm about to do a call to action on throughout the month on my page. I always try to start my groups, my free groups, on the first full week of the month, whatever that might be. So if it's like Monday the 4th, then that is when I will start my free group. Whatever paid group I have going on, I will start the following week, because that gives me time to get to know them and invite them into the monthly group or into the paid group. So I always start my free groups, the free 1 week group, on the first full week of the month, and then the paid groups and the accountability groups on the following Monday of the month. Now, that might mean that they don't sign up that exact month because they have to go through the process of the funnel of the 1 week of the free group and then the month of the accountability group, and then they sign up for the paid group the next month. But it has worked really well for me. And it has worked really well. Once I started doing that marketing plan and that process of the first week of the month is the 1 week group, the second week of the month is the paid group or that accountability group, I have started to hit SC10 like consistently month after month after month. So it has helped me stay really consistent, and it's helped people kind of know what to look for. So at the end of the month is when I'll do a lot of my call to actions. At the beginning of the month is when I start running my groups and kind of add a lot of the value.
No, that was awesome. And I remember watching that training, and it was like super helpful. And I want you guys to like remember this too, that so when Rachel first saw that video from Anita Myron on like her monthly marketing plan, it took a few months for her like to implement and like get a rhythm going. Like she just threw it on the wall like messy spaghetti and just went for it. It transitioned, and now it's just like this awesome thing that it's just a habit, and she knows what's coming next. And after a few months of doing it, it wasn't necessarily instant success. After a few months of doing it, now it's becoming continuous success. I want you to keep that in mind. You have to be consistent doing something for at minimum 90 days. And that's why I want you guys to plan to be here a year from now, because if you can plan to be here a year from now, being consistent, that's when things are going to pay off, and you're going to get those resubscription commissions coming in. Like I have people that signed up a year ago, and all of a sudden their Beachbody on Demand is renewing, and I completely forgot about it. I mean, they're in my groups and stuff, but I wasn't expecting that additional commission. So plan to be here a year from now. Plan to put as much value out as you can. This was a super awesome call. I know a lot of people, I've gotten 5 messages from people who are like, I'm so mad I missed tonight's call. We're all with family doing whatever, but I totally get it. I'm sorry again that I completely spaced it. It was a holiday weekend. So I will post a recording. If you're watching this, if you're watching the recording and you have any questions, go ahead and comment below the post that I made in our team page. And then Rachel is gonna, if questions keep coming in, she'll go live in our team page, just answering those the best that she can. So thank you guys so much for hopping on. I hope this was value. I know it was super valuable to you guys. So hopefully this is something that you can use, and have a good rest of your weekend. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.